morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel L. Connon. Welcome to Premarket Info.
Well, Fed decision day here. Will we get some more QE3? That is the question that everybody wants to know the answer to. It was a wild ride for Apple yesterday with the release of their iPhone 5. We'll analyze the tape. Citigroup is nervous about the PC environment. They're downgrading Intel, AMD, and Marvel this morning. And we're going to look at some key high-frequency trading resistance levels in some of your bigger S&P components. Joel, we've got a roll in the S&P futures contract.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. I've been outside the Apple store since 3 a.m. and waiting for the new phone, and there was nobody else there.
Well, that doesn't look like it on the chart from Apple yesterday because the stock actually just took off in the afternoon. And at about 2 o'clock, the stock just hit rock bottom down there at 656 and then never looked back, rallying 13 points there in the last hour and a half.
Yeah, we had talked about the parameters for trading that stock yesterday, and I was just looking at the previous day's activity for kind of a hint where it was going. And lo and behold, it got 50 cents below Tuesday's low, got down to 656, and then turned around and roared. Took out Tuesday's high, and now we're a full $5 above that. To be honest with you, there's only resistance at the all-time high close of 680.44, and then the all-time high print where I got long, 683.29. Coming back, I'd look for some decent support. The close and the high were right by each other, so too bad it went through that 670.10 immediately following the close, but 670 is going to be good support if we come back down there today.
Yeah, we're trading up $5 more here this morning. A couple firms getting bullish on Apple here again. Barclays raising their price target. RBC Capital raising their price target on the stock as well. That's got Apple trading up another $5 here. I think Joel's giving you some good numbers. Obviously, that all-time high of 683.29 is your bogey. If you're placing a short, it starts to make all-time highs. I never like to be short a stock that's making new all-time highs.
One final comment on Apple. I had an email from a trader that has been long the stock for a long time, and they were asking for an exit point. And I said, well, you're trying to pick the top or you're trying to protect profits? And, he obviously is trying to protect profits. And just looking at that stock, and I told him yesterday, that 655 level, now we're a full 20 points away from that. But just, pick an area on the downside, right there, that's a double bottom, that 656 and a half area. So that's the bogey for those of you looking to protect long-term profits on Apple.
And the bogey that I've been using is the 648.11, just a little bit below that low that we set on August 22nd. That's the bogey that I've been using. If it was to ever take that out, that's when I would get nervous with the longs. So Joel's using the 655. I'm just a little bit lower at 648.11. The important point is, though, that you do have a reference point where you know if you are long this thing where you're going to exit. So that's the important thing with trading. Always know you're out. Facebook, it was a wild ride for it too yesterday. Good trading day, breaking out significantly over that $20 level that we had talked about. Got up to 2093 and closed at 2093. Did break over 21, got as high as 2116. Is trading flat right now, 2086.
Yeah, they kind of took Zuckerberg's comments about the search and the mobile and his feelings on the stock. Obviously, he was well tutored for that interview. Just looking at Facebook, I kind of like to use the open as a parameter, and that stock opened at 2076 yesterday. Rallied up, broke down, came nowhere near filling the gap. It snuck over the $21.16 level, but couldn't settle over that. People looking to buy this on the pullback, perhaps wait for this gap to be filled down to the 1960 area. But going on the upside, the next major area of resistance I have is the double top from August 14th and 15th at 2141 and 2160.
Couple other ones here in the news. Some smaller companies. Pier 1 Imports, which is symbol PIR, just announced earnings in line 19 cents against estimates of 19 cents. They did raise guidance a bit. A buck 10 to a buck 16 is what they're expecting for the full year. They were at a buck 08 to a buck 14. I mean, I look at this. What is the point to raising guidance when you raise the range 2 cents? Are they just trying to pump up their stock? Is that really what they do when they raise guidance by 2 cents?
Well, they must be selling a lot of wicker chairs and candles.
Well, but raising the guidance by 2 cents, I think it's ridiculous when companies come out and there's already a 6 cent range. So let's just say hypothetically they came in at 112. Well, that would have been in the old range too. So I think sometimes when they do this, they just want the stock to go higher. They know they're in line, so they want to say something good, and they say, "Oh, well, we'll raise the range there a little bit. We can probably make that, and then that'll pump the stock up." And it is this morning. The stock is trading at 1986, but I don't know. I don't know about this company.
I mean, you got one real straight print here at 2040. That was pretty much an odd lot. $20 seems to be the bogey here. We did trade a little volume over that level, 2006. I just want to alert our traders to the triple top that this stock had. Actually, you could call it even more than that. You had highs at 1948, 59, 62, 44, 57. Call that whole area 1950. That will act as support. If you're looking to play the stock long off the open, below 1950, you got a little real estate down here, down to yesterday's low. But, breaking out to a new 52-week high, hasn't traded at this level since January of '05 when it traded up to 1998. So that gives even a little bit more confirmation to that whole 20 level, the psychological $20 level acting as resistance.
Joel, did this get down into the pennies in 2008? Is that correct on my charts?
That is correct, sir.
How did it do that? I've got a low of 10 cents. Is that right?
You are correct.
Come on, is that right? It really got down to 10 cents? How did this company pull out of that? I don't know if I've ever seen a stock go as low as 10 cents and then be at $19 4 years later.
And I don't think they did any kind of your funky AIG Citigroup.
I don't think so either. Like, I knew it went under a couple bucks. I could remember that. I had no idea that this thing went as low as 10 cents, but that's what it's showing on my chart in 2009. So the people that bought this thing at 10 cents just have an astronomical return here. I'm looking here at this 2005 level. Looking back in 2005. Look, there's multiple highs there back from, I'd say, in all of December 2004 to January of 2005. We're going back here, folks, to get you these levels. 1998 was the high on January 31st, 2005. You had multiple highs in the upper 19s. That is where we are coming into this morning. So maybe this whole $20 area can try to put a lid on it off the hop. Above 20, I'd probably use that as my out.
Yeah, that's a good call. There's some long time resistance, and especially a stock climbing from a dime up to this level.
Well, I wish I would have been having some guts and picking up a little Pier 1, but when I see a stock go from $20 to 10 cents, it usually goes to zero. Pier 1 bucked that trend, and obviously pretty nice return there for shareholders who bought this thing at a dime.
Yeah, usually when stocks go under a buck, they never come back.
Yeah, I think there's a statistic that, and I might get the statistic wrong, but that when a stock falls 90%, 90% of the time they don't, or 90% of the time they don't come back at all. So I think I think it was like if a stock falls under $10 or something, when a stock falls 90%. 90% of the time it doesn't come back. It's something like that. So basically you only get those 1 in 10 that actually do come back to make new highs after falling 90%. So that's a statistic for you. But Pier 1 is one of those 10% here because it's come back. So pretty nice return there for Pier 1 if you bought it at 10 cents. PLL, which is Paul Corp. Stock is trading up significantly here this morning. They did raise guidance there last night. Stock is up over $4. 62.20 is where it's trading right now after closing at 58.17. Is that a new 52-week high?
That is a new 52-week high. No, it's not.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry
just find
about
it
that.
in
Now,
February
looking
64.
at the pre-market, though, we did get up to 62.75. We pulled back a little bit from that level. It has not traded up at this area since February and March before it had the decline. 62.82 was the high on March 5th, so I would keep an eye on that level. If in fact we can take out the high well, actually the high in this session is 62.99, so keep an eye on that 62.80 to 62.99
And
level
if it
as
and
resistance.
if it really continues up, your 52-week high there is 64.55. That's a couple bucks here higher. So keep that number in mind as well. Citigroup is downgrading a few PC stocks here. They're nervous about the PC environment. They're downgrading Intel, a little late to the party on that one. Downgrading AMD, I guess a little late to the party on that one too. Downgrading Marvel, well, they're late to the party on all of these when you look at the charts because all of these things are basically at their lows. Intel obviously lowering guidance there just a few sessions ago. Now obviously making new lows, $23, 23.05 is where it's trading at in the pre-market, down another 14 cents on the Citigroup downgrade.
Wow, this has been a pretty good sell-off here in
Yep,
this
it
Intel.
really has.
Yeah, this is not a good looking chart here. Just going back in the pre-market, you did have a low. You just kind of skimming. You got your bottom feeders here at $23 defending the stock. That coincided with yesterday's low at 23.06. So that $23 level is going to be key. Once you take out that $23 level, you have to go back to November of last year, and you had a low in November at 22.51. But it seems to me there might be a few buyers here at this $23 level.
And then you look at AMD. Is there going to be any buyers in AMD? Because this one here, you've got to go back quite a ways. We're at 382. Obviously, just a few days ago, we've bounced. In the last 4 or 5 days, we got as low as 343. I don't think on a Citigroup downgrade we're going to see those lows there again. But man, just looking at this chart, I've kind of almost written this company off for dead since we topped out there in the 42 handle back in 2006. This thing has just been on a slow drift, looking like slowly drifting to zero, although it has had a nice rally off that 340 area.
Yeah, I mean, for you trendline lovers here, coming off that 447 high, you can almost draw a straight line off the highs done there, and it did break out to the upside. Now the bad news here is probably going to send it back down. I just keep an eye on the 375 level. That was yesterday's low as minor support, and with the downgrade, this thing's going to have a heck of a time getting back over $4.
And then Marvel, they downgraded that one as well. It's another ugly chart. Stocks trading down just a bit here. I mean, these stocks are so weak that downgrades don't affect them as much as a stock that's actually been strong. I mean, everybody's already bearish these stocks anyways. It's at $10.18, down 7 cents. I mean, $10 is huge on this thing. It needs to
Yeah,
hold that.
yeah, I was just gonna say that you had a low on the fourth at 998, and then another low at 1002. So obviously in this thinly traded issue, not that thin, but people are making a stand here at $10. So I'd use that as a bogey.
Nike getting downgraded though by Citigroup as well. So Citigroup is a little bit
Citigroup's
bearish.
busy
They
today.
were busy today, and Nike is down a little bit more because Nike is a stock that actually has been having a good 2 3 months since it bottomed at as low as $85. The stock's come straight back, trading over 100 there yesterday at $100.84 to close. Is trading down here at 99.11 right now is the last trade. It's offered at 99.80. There's a stray cross $155, but ignore that on your tape. That was a closing cross. 2,500 shares probably reported just late to the tape this morning, but it's trading down here in the 99 handle.
Yeah, I remember when it gapped down like that. That was actually on earnings miss. When it gapped down to that
Right.
25, yep, 85.10 level. So those of you that were contrarians that day, you've been rewarded. It got back over the psychological $100 level. Now with the downgrade, we are back at the low from the 11th at 99.11. You had a high at the previous day at 99.03. Wouldn't want to be long this thing if it takes out 99. Get a little vacuum area down to the 97.47 low from the 6th.
Want to highlight a few areas of high frequency resistance. We always talk with these big institutional sellers and how these high frequency traders lean on them. Well, there's some big sellers in GE at the 22 level, and the high frequency traders are trying to put a lid on this one. I do have a position on in GE just for full disclosure, but I just want to show that on the chart here. It got up into the 2190 area yesterday, topping out at 2193. It sold off a bit, then came back and finding resistance at 2190 again. Just like the Exxon Mobil we've been highlighting, the 8990. I think you see the same thing materializing in the 2190 area in GE.
Yeah, first thing I want to point out in GE yesterday, and I don't know if we had a chance to discuss this on the show. You did have a double top at 2165 and 2169. Opened up smack dab in the middle between those two and made a low at 66, so you didn't even have a gap situation. Ended up marching for the rest of the day. This is the highest GE has traded since November of 2008. 22 is going to be a tough level to crack, but really once you get over this $22 level, there's not a lot of resistance for at least a couple points. I mean, it may take a couple months for it to go another quarter point, but G's been on a real nice run here.
Abbott Labs is another one. Similar setup. We've got this $68 level that the high frequency traders are protecting. They're selling in front of that level at 67.90s. Yesterday the thing got up to 67.87, 67.85. That's what the level that they have been protecting here for the last couple of days, or actually for yesterday anyways.
Yeah, this one is kind of getting a running start into that resistance since we closed at 67.84, so it doesn't have as much distance to travel in order to take that size out. That's the all-time high in that 67.88. So for you folks that have held Abbott Labs forever, you're being rewarded as the stock is at new all-time highs.
Johnson & Johnson, another level I want to highlight, 68.50 has been protected here by the high frequency traders for the last couple of days. Again, on the chart you can see here it actually broke above it a few times here, but it was kind of still holding, and now I'm seeing more size form there again. So some institutions put this on their sell list at 68.50, and the high frequency traders have taken note. I'd expect this 68 in the 40s to try to be the high frequency traders try to put a lid on it there.
Yeah, you kind of notice that happens a few times when there's a level, the large institutions or large traders trying to exit position. Let's say they really want to sell it at 68.50. They'll let it get a nickel or a dime above there, and then come in. Yeah, and then come in with a couple hundred K, and before the HFT guys have a chance, they whack their bids and they get them out of there. But they reappeared again yesterday. That's a triple top there. That's a huge area, 68.50. Below the 68.03, that was the low. We have some minor support at 67.83, but the major support in Johnson & Johnson is at the double bottom at 67.52 to 59.
Well, overall market thoughts, like we said, we are rolling the new symbol on the new E-mini is ES Zebra 2. We're trading the December futures now. That is trading at 14.30 and a quarter, just slightly down on the day, but fair value is down a couple points. We're almost flat here. I'd expect your volatility to be somewhat muted ahead of this QE3 decision.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of highs here at this 1432 level, going back to last Friday when it started out on the big rally, and you've had a bunch of other highs right there. 1433 and a quarter, of course, being the high of the move yesterday. That's going to be our resistance coming back on the downside. You really don't have major support until you get to yesterday's intraday low at 1425 and a half.
Well, that's our show for today. We'll wait to hear what Big Bad Ben has to say this afternoon. Good luck with your trading, and we'll be back with you guys tomorrow.